The video kicks off with a cozy shot of the Smith family house from American Dad. Inside, Hayley asks about the arrival of their shiny new stove, which Francine gleefully dubs Merry Stove Day. However, Stan bursts their bubble with a cheaper, not-so-fancy stove replacement. Chaos ensues as Stan, ever the DIY king, unleashes a stove snake and accidentally floods the kitchen with gas. The family collapses dramatically, lungs overinflating like tragic balloons before passing out in a heap. Roger, ever the opportunist, casually calls for an ambulance like he's ordering pizza. Cut to the hospital, where a fresh-faced doctor likely just out of med school declares the Smiths incredibly lucky to have survived. Cue existential crises. Hayley vows to snag Jack in the Box's tiny tacos, Steve dreams of rocking low-rise jeans, and Francine, for some reason, sets her sights on Everest. Jeff? He's just vibing, planning to get super high. Stan, naturally, decides the whole family will conquer Mount Everest together, whether they like it or not. Back home, Stan is juggling his new travel agency complete with Klaus the fish moonlighting as a snarky receptionist. Klaus offers a trip of a lifetime, which turns out to be Everest-level expensive. Stan contemplates an OnlyFans account before Klaus mercifully suggests cheaper options. The family packs up for their adventure, with Roger grumbling about his look of the day, priorities, people. Their journey is hilariously underwhelming. They board Air Ecuador, raising questions like, why didn't we just stay home? Hiking through a tropical paradise, wait, is this even Everest? The family encounters a tour guide brandishing a sword and ominously referencing treats for travelers. From there, things escalate with lava pits, messy workouts, and Stan looking like he lost a fight with the wilderness. The video wraps up with the Smiths on their absurd, mismatched adventure, reminding us that no plan, especially Stan's, ever goes smoothly. Whether climbing mountains or surviving gas leaks, this family's chaos is always on brand. The credits roll as Klaus smugly waves a travel pamphlet, because of course. Moral of the story? Don't let Stan shop for appliances or plan vacations. Stick to tiny tacos and low-rise jeans, they're safer. Welcome to another misadventure of the Smith family, where plans go sideways faster than Klaus in a zorbing bubble. The video starts with Klaus at Chimborazo, rocking an orange suit and aggressively pushing non-refundable zorbing experiences. Despite Francine's skepticism, Klaus offers generous credit for a helicopter, kayaking, or climbing tour. Spoiler, the family opts for chaos instead. Flashbacks ensue. Stan tries to fix a stove snake situation, aka unleashing gas like it's a cooking demo gone wrong. Cut to the hospital, the Smiths are all alive, barely, and their near-death experience inspires them to live life to the fullest. Naturally, this translates into trekking Chimborazo, a South American mountain that nobody in the family can pronounce. The tropical river scene provides much-needed comic relief. While drinking riverside, Roger regrets their failed Everest plans. Fast forward to Stan and Francine tackling Chimborazo logistics while Klaus researches seasonal climbing restrictions. Despite Klaus's warnings, Stan insists they press on, proving once again that his stubbornness knows no altitude limits. Francine kicks off the adventure by climbing Everest, yes, really, while the rest of the family begins their Chimborazo trek. Their shady tour guide ominously warns that travelers sometimes become the treats before casually stabbing a tree. Cue uneasy laughter. The chaos levels peak as the family camps near the mountains. Stan rallies the group like a motivational speaker who's read exactly one self-help book. Meanwhile, Roger swaps wigs mid-flight and debates his wardrobe choices while everyone else marvels at the scenery. The family finds themselves atop a snowy peak at sunrise, only to end up near a volcano and, somehow, in a jungle with Vicente the guide. Along the way, Vicente waxes poetic about conquering their inner selves, using metaphors about grape-fonte rivers and mountain spirits. The Smiths nod along, trying to figure out if they're on a spiritual retreat or an energy drink ad. As the family meanders through El Valle Asafer de Arana y Zarzas, the sulphurous brambly valley of spiders, yikes, Roger devises a plan to outwit Vicente, who may or may not be plotting their demise. Chaos culminates with Vicente donning a Skittles-themed blindfold and walking off a cliff. The Smiths, somehow unfazed, take selfies at the mountain's peak like true adventurers. The finale? Klaus rolls in inside a zorbing bubble, naturally, asking the family if they'll continue to do business with him. Because if there's one thing this adventure has proven, it's that Klaus knows how to turn mountain madness into a sales pitch. This episode of American Dad is a whirlwind of mishaps, from high-altitude hijinks to the perils of home appliances. It begins with the Smith family declaring their newfound love for Chimborazo and vowing to live life to the fullest. But because they're the Smiths, living to the fullest quickly derails into chaos. First, there's Roger, covered in mud and shaking his sandals out like he's auditioning for a slapstick comedy. Then Hayley, fuming because her plans have gone sideways, is inexplicably attacked mid-rant. Meanwhile, a man sawing wood and two others painting llamas, yes, llamas, make a cameo, because why not? The tour guide, Vicente, announces the end of their trip with the casual air of someone finishing a PowerPoint presentation. But this is American Dad, so things escalate when Klaus still shamelessly non-refundable tries upselling helicopter and kayak tours. The plot thickens as Roger, perched on a cliff, declares Chimborazo has him feeling, well, let's just say a little too inspired. Things peak, pun intended, when Vicente proclaims himself the mountain's protector and announces his intent to kill everyone. Cue a surreal flashback of Stan as a kid, zorbing into lava, while Klaus, ever the drama queen, tumbles downhill in his bubble. Klaus insists on dragging the family back to the travel agency for a 5 a.m. zorbing session because who needs sleep when you have chaos? Stan, feeling defeated, opens up to Roger about the real tragedy: no one likes his budget-friendly stove. It's a rare tender moment quickly overshadowed by another bout of absurdity as the family heads home. The episode wraps with Stove Day 2.0. Hayley and Francine dream of a high-end French stove, Lebenschaud, but Stan, the frugal hero, replaces their dream with a bargain bin stove master. Francine, unimpressed, christens it a cheap piece of crap. In true Smith fashion, Stan's DIY stove installation unleashes a gas leak that floors the entire family. The final scene has Stan announcing he'll take the bus to work tomorrow, because clearly, nothing else in his life is going as planned.